Check this out.
Welcome to my latest video on ARCRaiders. I heard the new vaporizers are pretty decent, so let's go ahead and get these aggroed over here and see what they're about.
Hi, how are you?
Huh. Alright, so full transparency, I had a feeling that would not work, but I had to try it anyways for you guys. Now, vaporizers are the newest arc in the game. These things are absolutely lethal. And today, I'm going to instruct you on exactly how to take these things out, not just the meta way, but all the other viable options that keep this thing super fun. But in order to hunt our enemy, we have to first know about it. So, follow me. That's right, today we're going to learn a little something. So the vaporizer itself has 8 total thrusters. I've got a view here from the bottom. And these are absolutely, of course, weak points. So if you take these things out, this thing's pretty much going to go down. It also has a couple different attacks. So one of the attacks is a burst laser almost, and it can target multiple people, which is a big problem. Next up, we've got the single laser beam that pretty much everybody has seen, especially at the beginning of this video. This thing lasts for about 5 to 6 seconds, and the last thing you need is to be caught out in the open with this. All right, and final piece to cover, this thing has a deployable shield very similar to the matriarch. If you throw any deployables at this thing, or if you deal a certain amount of damage, it's going to deploy its shield. And I have a meta method per se that I'm going to show at the end of the video that certainly counters this. Let's get it. All right, first things first, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my video. I know you had plenty of other options, and if you've seen my videos before, you know that I absolutely appreciate every view, like, and comment. Additionally, I also absolutely love making some decent intros for each video, so as always, I'll include timestamps in the event that you're not interested in all of the cinematic stuff before and you just want to get right into the tips. I've got timestamps down below in the description for you and in the chapter set up, so go straight to it if you'd like. Otherwise, let's get right into it. Now, if you're using this method where you're just straight up trying to shoot it with any gun you have, with the exception of light ammo, don't even try that. I think a Renegade or a Vini will do perfectly fine, but let's stick with the heavy weapons for now. So I'm using an anvil, and this thing absolutely worked incredible shooting the thrusters. So if you shoot 2 of the thrusters on each side, in the front and or back, it'll make the thing flip, and that'll absolutely knock it out. These things are highly aggressive though, as you can see here. This thing pushed me all the way down here in the primary facility. And I included this one first because me personally, I think this is the most viable and most fun option. You know, the cover and peeking with a teammate, just taking one of the big arc down. It's just super fun to me. Now, as far as how long it takes to take this bad boy down, I don't think it takes that long, me personally. Now, if you have a solid team and you're all shooting the thrusters with these guns, you're perfectly fine. You'll take it out and it'll fall just like you see here. But if you're solo, trust me, just take an anvil and go straight for the thrusters. And even a Pharaoh, you can do this, to be honest. You just have to have some very well timed and aimed shots and you'll be all right. The problem with these is there's usually not just one, so you're gonna have to get to work on multiple. And that's it for red guns. Let's move on. So I'm not going to lie, in this category, I felt I was left a little disappointed. The equalizer seemed like it did just fine at taking the armor off, but you definitely needed something to follow up right after with a couple of shots, maybe a Venator, or really any gun that puts some rounds down range quick. For this gameplay recording though, I specifically only used the equalizer on purpose, and I did have a buddy to my left using the Aphelion, which, by the way, I did not even record myself because I don't think that gun is very good, even for ARC or for PvP in general, until they buff it a little more. But regarding the equalizer, I put a lot of shots into this thing, or a lot of energy rounds rather, and it took quite a long time to get this thing down. So I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm just saying I don't think it's worth bringing the equalizer in specifically for this scenario. I would keep this more for the queen or maybe the matriarch. And I do understand that this thing is mainly used for taking armor plating off of the arc, but it certainly seems like the best thing to do with the equalizer if you're going to use it is target the underbelly, open up the core, and then get to work on it with whatever gun you want, probably besides the hairpin. Now, here's a gun that never fails to impress me. This thing right here does excellent against the vaporizers. Now, what it does not do is stun the target like it does on the Rocketeers, but it does make it instantly deploy its shield, which, like I'm going to mention later on in the video, probably a good time to shoot it once and maybe throw a wolf pack. But this thing is absolutely incredible at taking these things down. It doesn't take that many rounds, and especially if you target the triangle hat in the middle or its underbelly, or if you just knock out the thrusters in general, it's pretty quick. With all that being said, I would highly recommend, out of all the energy guns, to bring a Jupiter in and have fun with this bad boy. So here we've got the all-around favorite Hullcracker. So this thing has been taken out arc from the beginning of the game. We've all used this thing to crack open the armor on multiple different arc and then shoot it out. This thing will take out vaporizers in 8 to 10 shots, and I honestly believe that it's probably my number 2 pick. And the reason for that, and the reason that the Wolfpack meta that I'm going to show you later on isn't the preferred method, is because this thing's got nerfed so hard and you need a Rocketeer driver for each one. This is much more accessible. I mean, you can buy it from the trader, and the rounds aren't that expensive in my opinion. And as always, this thing is best when combined with other guns. Sure, you can use this thing and completely smoke check it the whole time, but if you just break open the belly's armor just like that and shoot it with red guns, it's easy money. All right, so here we are with this method, probably the coolest looking one in my opinion, and it is the fastest to take these things down. However, it is by far the riskiest, especially if you're solo because you have nobody to pick you up. You're just gonna have to rely on the survivor kit to get you out. And that's if you fall from the sky, and there's a pretty high chance of that doing this method. So it doesn't matter if the shield's up or not, the Hornet driver or the showstopper will still take it down, at least to this level. And I'm sure we've all seen what to do from this point forward. You're gonna take that $15,000 deadline that you got, and you're gonna place it right on the vaporizer and watch as it blows up. All right, so I'm going to show you guys right here why I think this thing is a little risky. So you use your Snaphook, and I personally think I'm decently well versed in this thing. Unfortunately, I didn't show that here, but I got it after the second try. Now you're going to apply the same logic as you did before or with any other arc. You're going to plop that deadline right on top of it, and then you're going to jump off wherever you can that looks the safest. I got lucky right here and landed on a house, and then you're going to enjoy the show. All right, so if you ladies and gentlemen are anything like me at all, you probably took your wolf packs out of your stash that you had, saving up for this very moment. You brought it into the raid and you threw 2, which is pretty similar to a Rocketeer, and you realized that that was an absolute waste of probably around 12,000 because they have a shield. Now, at the beginning of this video, I made you a promise that I would show you a meta method to take care of these things while still using wolf packs. So what I learned about the behavior of the vaporizers is any deployable thrown at it, the shield comes up. So what I thought to myself instantly was, all right, so what I'll do is I'll wait a second for the shield to go down, throw another wolf pack, and we'll be all good. And then I thought to myself, well, a wolf pack is the same level of deployable as a light grenade or a gas grenade or literally anything else that you throw at it. I would say a secret grenade, but those things are actually decent, so I would save those, especially since you're only using it just to simply bait the shield, and it's going to go to nothing anyways. So here is the method that pretty much everybody has been doing as of late. You're going to take your light grenade and have it ready, and you're going to throw it right at the vaporizer. It's going to cause the shield to go up, and what you're going to do is simply wait. Now, this one was already damaged. A couple people were shooting it, but as soon as the shield goes down, you're going to throw 2 wolf packs at a regular one, and it'll take it down. And just like that, now you know everything you need to know about the Vaporizer and Arc Raiders. If you enjoyed the video at all or you found it useful, please don't forget to leave a like and a comment. If you're a returning viewer, I can't thank you enough for that. And if you're new here, I hope I respected your time with this video, and I hope I earned your subscription. And with that being said, I'll see you guys topside.